Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode on Alta Call MAFS. I'm your host, Tane, here to talk about Love is Blind Italy Season 1. It's the new addition to the global domination that is Love is Blind. And here to cover this with me is Brian from Maps Virgin. Hi, Brian. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about this, I think. So we'll we'll jump in both feet and see how we land.
We shall. A little housekeeping for you guys. If you have not yet, please check out my interviews with Brittany and Belinda from season 19 of Maths. It was nice talking to them. It's almost like a reminder that we watched two completely different shows, and they gave a lot of behind the scenes and things that we did not see for whatever reason that is. So go check that out. Reminder that patreon.com/AltaCallMAFS. I have bonus episodes on there. The 90 Day Fiance Tell Alls, all four parts, they're all done, are up there. Brian joined me for two of them. The challenge finale is also up. I will have a guest for the reunion. I'm guessing we have a two-part reunion. I'm not sure, but I will cover that. And also coming next week, maybe, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the reunion. I will also cover that. And all that will be on Patreon. If you want to listen to any of the episodes ad free, there's also a tier on there. You can check that out if you just want to support. And if you don't, you can join for free and you can just chat with other people in the group chat. Which is funny because I want to shout out a patron out there, Giovanni, who I have told him that he's my consultant for Love is Blind Italy. He's not for it. But I'm just like, if I have questions, I am coming to you and you explain this to me. So yeah, you can find people on there that you can chat with about. Also, couples therapy is back. We had 4 episodes. We took a break because of Married at First Sight. Now that that's done, couples therapy is coming back, and we have 4 episodes left for season 4. So check that out. Also, just a shameless thing. If I happen to make your Spotify Wrapped, tag me. I want to see it. Yeah, I don't care. So it's nice. It's a nice feeling. And I appreciate those who have already tagged me. Thank you so much for listening. But if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Tag me. Okay.
It feels good.
It does. It does. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
um, Now, it took a while for me and Brian to get this, but let me try and explain this to you guys. So for this drop, we are covering the first four. That's episodes 1 to 4. The next drop is also 4 episodes, which is episodes 5 to 8. But then the drop after that is just one, which is 9. So we're gonna cover 5 to 7 and then have 8 and 9 together. So in case you watch ahead and you're like, why didn't they talk about this? It is because we just left one episode out that we're going to cover together with 9. And then the reunion will be the last episode, too. Okay. Before I share my thoughts, Brian, you're the guest.
Mhm.
Where are my manners? I'm going to ask you, give me a high level summary of what you felt about this new entry into the Love is Blind family.
It's tough, right? Because it has all the things that I say that I want. I want love triangles and messiness and people that are lying to each other and all of these things. And we got all of that. And I had a real hard time emotionally connecting with any of it. Like, there's a guy I dislike, and that's kind of the most that I could get. Whereas ordinarily, all of these ingredients mixed in, I'm like, I hate this person. This person needs to be protected at all costs. I don't know if it's the production. I don't know if it's we didn't really get deep questions in the pods. I don't know. It feels off. It
Yeah.
just feels like something's not quite connecting the way that I'm used to.
Yes. Okay. One thing I do with my guests is even when I had the pod with Aid, we do not discuss at all anything beforehand. So everything you're hearing,
Mhm.
and I feel so validated because listen, I have my notes. It's not like I'm making it up to just back up what you just said. My first line is, I think I found this very interesting. Something is missing, but I'm not sure what
Right.
it is. It felt like a slog to get through, but like you
Mhm.
said, it had everything. Even when they had the love triangles, I'm like, oh, Brian's gonna like this. They have the triangles, but I'm like, it's still not enough. And it's also like,
Yeah.
I don't care. And I was like, if the show was a human being, I would say it lacked charisma.
Yes.
I think that's the best way I can describe it. And also, I had the thought, like, also, is it the production? Is it the editing? Is it the translation? It's not as good because when we did France, first. It
Hmm.
was love at first sight. We were like, oh my God, we got here. We are here. Here,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to put names to people. And as if that wasn't hard enough, they went and cast two Alessandros. And
Yep.
we are going through this. Those of you who watch Survivor, we had to have two Sophies, and it's Sophie and Soph. And stop casting. If two people have the same name, tell them, sorry, try again next year. It's too much.
Yeah. Well, between that and then we also have what, a Georgia and a Gargana, and I'm like, those are too similar. Like, there's a lot.
Giovanni.
Yeah, there's a Giovanni. It's just I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on quite what isn't there. I don't know if it's because the villain that we have isn't like mustache twirling enough of a villain. I don't know. But I hope it picks up because I'm not like out on the series or anything. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, usually by episode 4, I'm like, I'm hooked on something, and I'm not hooked on anything here.
Yeah. I don't know if I actually said his name, but the patron who I said I dubbed the consultant, his name is Giovanni. So, hi, Giovanni.
The other Giovanni.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what else did I notice? I'm like, I don't want to say big feelings because we said that about France too, where there was a lot of
Hmm.
emotions, a lot of feelings, but they've all had big feelings, but we're not able to connect to what they're feeling because a lot of them don't seem to understand that you're supposed to date multiple people.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a surprise.
just because you latch onto one person doesn't mean they'll do the same. And I don't know, it's just a lot, but you know what? New maths trained me for this marathon. And oh, how
Right.
could we forget, Brian? There's also a sprinkling of racism. You know. Oh,
we're gonna get more of it, it appears. So yeah.
my God. Like, it's just why? I
Mhm.
okay, let's just get into it.
Yep.
My first impression of the boys were like, none of these boys came here to get married. Everyone here looks like they came here for a good time.
Hmm.
Like, I
We're all
just
ready to party.
it's kind of crazy. So the hosts, they're a married couple. Unlike France,
Twice.
it's not a
2
partnered
times.
couple. It's Fabio Caressa and Benedetta Parodi. They've been married for 25 years. He looks like Terry Dubrow to me on one angle,
He
and
does.
then Robin Williams in another angle. So
I can,
it
I can see both.
depends what angle you're looking at, but
Right.
that's what you get. She's a TV personality. She hosts shows like Bake Off Italia, and honestly, if you're not watching Bake Off, the Great British Bake Off, what are you waiting for? Like, oh,
Mm.
go put some joy in your life. Um, the she's 53, and she also used to be a news anchor. Um, he's a well-known sports commentator. I was like Jesse Palmer. I don't know, like kind of that
Right.
level.
Yeah.
Not sure, but he's 58. And if you're wondering what she meant by, she got married to him twice, she just meant that she renewed her vows because I thought they divorced.
Oh.
I do all this so you guys don't have to. I went into my deep dive and got this
Yeah.
information. They did not get divorced and get married again. They just renewed their vows in front of their kids. So, yay.
Okay. That doesn't count as getting married twice.
Yes,
That means
exactly. It's
it's a different thing. If I hear you got married twice, I'm like, oh, y'all split up and then found each other again and tried it a second time.
it's the translation. Like, I think the
Yeah.
translation is very different this time from all the other franchises.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Parminda, who decides he wants to go by Parmi. Um
Army.
he says that he wants to keep his identity hidden. And at first, when he first came, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, he's of East Asian descent, but I did he eventually say, was he Indian or Pakistani?
I think he's Indian.
He's Indian?
I think
Okay.
so. I think
Yeah.
so.
But then he starts talking to Gergana. Oh my god,
Gargana.
guys. I'm gonna get them all because it took me a while. Like, this is the longest it's taken me for a franchise, and I had to I kept pausing because I'm like, okay, I gotta get through this. But then it took me a while to get
Hmm.
everybody together. Okay, but then when he was talking to her, he was so free about it, and we talked about it. So I don't understand what his logic was for not wanting to reveal it. But usually, I'm okay if people don't want to. It's only you got to keep it consistent, I think, because they
Yeah.
they all talk. So
Right.
if you're
They're gonna know.
yeah, so I don't get what it is. I will tell you guys right now, Paraminda to me is the most handsome of all the guys. He has the most swag. He just to
Yeah.
me is heads and shoulders above everybody else. And I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe it's a stereotype. I was like, Italian men, we're just you know, gonna be blessed, and that was not the case. So maybe it's just me.
I mean, the other guy who's good looking, and God, I can't think. I can see him right now. The guy that played soccer back in the day,
Nicola?
um, Nicola.
Yeah, right.
He's good looking, but he's like 5'2". It turns out, like when they went to hug, I'm like, oh, y'all are the same height.
He
But he looks like what I thought the Italian men were all gonna look like facially, at least.
Yeah, I can see that. He looks like he's in the romance novel. Like not
Mhm.
Fabio level, but like that look
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
So I'm this is in the pods, and I will say, like, usually I hear people always say like the pods are boring, and I've never thought that. I I do think that applied here.
Yeah,
This is the first
agreed.
time I'm encountering that with the Italy. So I'm trying to see what all the highlights are for the pods. Someone early says that, what is the difference between a marriage and a serious relationship? And they say, like, the marriage is an achievement and something that cannot be taken from her. And I'm like, oh boy.
That's a weird way to think about it.
W-
That's a weird way to think about it,
what do you think divorce is? What do you think cheating is?
right?
It can be
Well,
taken
and
away.
also, I mean, yeah, to say that like, oh, I got married, therefore I did this thing. You can't take that away from me. It's kind of like it's not really like a lifetime achievement award. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
found somebody that you match well with, and they match well with you, and you guys wanted to stay together.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. They did not land right with me at all.
Yeah. So the thing with Parminda is like he connects with Gagana. Am I saying that right?
Gargana.
Gurgana. Oh, that's a lot of G's. Okay. I don't want to call her G because there are others. So he
There's a
connects
lot
with
of them.
her, right? And the editing again, I don't know if it's weird because he was like, "Oh, I've not met you before," but then on the same date, he's like, "Close your eyes. We're being dreamy. We're dreaming." I'm like, "This is very intense for
Mm-hmm.
people we're just meeting." But the kicker or the
Mm-hmm.
highlight for them is that Gagana just comes right out. It's like, "Listen, my parents don't like your kind." Like, I don't know
Yep.
what the translation said, but that is basically what she said. Like, I don't have an issue with it, but I care what they think. Ergo, you do have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And she just flat out says like that. And then instead of Parmy to be like, deuces, I'm out,
Mm-hmm.
my dude is like, this makes me want to work harder. I'm going to win them over. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
No, no. The so I watch on the dubbed version.
Okay.
The dubbed version, basically, she was like, "Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but like they're not gonna understand." Was essentially what she said.
That is what she said. That was my interpretation. I don't care what
Yeah,
they're putting to make it nice. That's all I heard.
yeah, they're not gonna understand. And I was like, "What? They're not gonna understand? Like it's not that hard to understand."
I don't. Someone's parents tell you that they're going to hate you because of your ethnicity. What are you trying to prove? You shouldn't have to work that hard or win anyone over. And also, he didn't talk much about it, but he told the guys if it's also an issue for you that you have
Hmm.
your culture, they're gonna want to match you with somebody else. Why are you trying to make your life hard? Just walk. Why are you even coming on this show?
Right. Yeah. Why are you injecting this degree of uncertainty into what you hope to be a very emotional situation?
Yeah,
Like, best case scenario, you make yourself super stressed out about her racist parents, and they're like, you're one of the good ones. That's your best case. Worst case scenario, you get there and they're like cussing you out and stuff. So, like, none of this is a good situation where you could be with somebody whose parents are like, yeah, this is totally fine. They're not going to care at all. Like,
yeah,
that seems to be what you should be shooting for.
yeah. That's what's going on with them. Were they in a triangle? Gargana was also liking
Yeah.
not
Was it Giovanni?
Giovanni. Was it
Was
Giovanni?
it? I think it was Giovanni who has 80,000 vests. I think it was him.
That man, I was like, how did he pack? He came and then he wears all these suits, and even like they're not even like the best fitted suits, but okay.
He wore a pirate shirt at one point,
He
like a
sure did.
billowy pirate shirt.
He
Like, what
sure
are we doing?
did.
God.
He sure did. I think I
Ugh.
wrote, what did I write? I was like, oh, this shirt's giving Puss in Boots. But
No, this man is Adam Vest. Is always in a vest.
okay, so he liked Giovanni. Word around town is that Giovanni is just like, not being honest, telling all the girls what they want to hear. and he liked Gargana, and then he liked, oh my god, Ludovica, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Hmm.
No,
Yeah.
Georgia,
Yeah. He liked Georgia. Ludovica was with
Nicola.
Nicola, and she's like, "No, you're not gonna like me."
Listen, I have never had a problem getting names together, getting things together. This was work. Had
This was
to get
tough.
that. So I think Giovanni could not decide who he wanted, but he eventually made a decision and decided to go with Georgia. But then when he let Gorgana know, she was
Ooh,
not happy and thought she was giving reads, and she wears diamonds and she does not wear zirconia. She needs no further
Zirconia.
explanations from him. And then she walks away as this man doesn't know she's walked away. He's like, "Are you there? Hello? Are you
Hmm.
still there?" So that's what I mean by like big feelings. There was also
Yeah.
someone else. I can't remember who it was who was asking, I want to say Davide. No, is there a David? Who is with
Davide
Ludovica?
the
Davide, yes,
Neapolitan.
he's with him. I can't. I think it was him or Giovanni, where she was asking, "What would you do if our 14-year-old kid goes to a party and is trying to get home?" And this man is
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I would either get him a scooter or something like that, or pay for a
You give him a
taxi.
moped.
Yeah, or giving money for a taxi." And she lost it. Wrong
She's
answer.
mad.
Yes, a 14-year-old kid should not, but her intensity was on 1,000. She's just like, how do you have a 14-year-old kid? They should know that they can call us whenever. This man is like, I'm just getting to know you. I just knew your name yesterday. Like, we
Yeah.
shouldn't be talking about. She's like, no, we need to talk about all of this. We need to know this. And they're not wrong, but you gotta accept that this is unusual circumstances, you know?
Well, and you also have to accept that you don't have a 14-year-old yet. So like, yeah, we all talk a big game until the kid is here. Like, sure, yes, if you asked me before I had any kids what I would do in the situation, I'd probably be like, yeah, I don't know. At 14, I was like riding my bike across town by myself. It'd probably be okay. Like, it's how your mind works. When you know that 14-year-old and you're like, no, I've seen you forget where you put your shoes while putting them on. Like, no, you're not going up by yourself. I'm
Yeah.
not giving you money for a cab. We will give you a ride home. But like, yeah, her reaction was it was as though he slapped her across the face. Like
Yeah.
she was outraged.
Very outraged. Hypotheticals. We saw what that did in France. Not a good
Hmm.
look. I want to go back, Brian. I'm thinking
Hmm.
about something, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. Remember during the US, I was so mad at Patrick because I'm like, it
Hmm.
seemed like he was ashamed, of where he was from and didn't want to say it. Do you think he is in the same level as Parminda, who at first did not want to say who she was, because that's what he did. He didn't want to say where he was from, but he eventually told Anna. And it feels like Parmi, eventually told Gargana, and he was okay with it. But the fact that he's willing to go along with people who are not willing to accept him, should I be mad at him? Is it akin to what
Um,
Patrick did?
it's hard to say. So the Patrick thing was tricky because he really only told Anna because they both figured out, oh, we are from similar places
Yeah.
essentially. Like that was neither one of them wanted to say anything, and then it kind of spilled out.
Hmm.
This felt more like he went into it with a game plan, started talking to somebody and maybe realized I can't really be my full authentic self with this person that I'm developing feelings for if I'm holding this part back.
Hmm.
And so like let me, come out with it and let you know where I am. I'm a little bit confused. I'm pretty sure that's a very standard Indian first name. So
Well,
like it's a little bit tricky to like hide your identity if it's like if you were Russian and your first name was like Igor, it's like, well, I could probably figure out about what part of the world you're from
yeah.
based on your name. So yeah, I don't know. I again, we don't know enough about these people to
Yeah.
have any idea of why they're saying what they're saying. So I don't know what this is with him. With Patrick, we had a long conversation about it,
Yeah.
about why he was insecure and what these things are. We have no idea other than I just want to keep it private what led him to this.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of stitching together that makes sense to us, because that's true.
Hmm.
And 1 minute it's like, what came first? Was he saying Parminda and then change to Parmi, or did he start with Parmi to throw people off? But then is Parmi a name that could be thought of as Italian? You know?
I don't know. I
So
mean, Parma is a city, so maybe it's I don't know. It's a stretch.
yeah.
I don't have a great answer.
And then the other thing is, we always say, for these languages, and I think they kind of answered that because we're going to meet Hayoni, who is from South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he could tell, and he was like, oh, I hear an accent. Because I've always wondered, like, can they tell, like, hey, this person is from here? Or can they tell, um, just identifiers, I guess, just from the way they speak, which they can, because they were like, Neapolitans, I think they
Yeah,
said.
somebody has like a Neapolitan accent apparently.
Yeah.
Which like
So,
it's funny to me because like I don't know why that's a weird concept to me because like there's accents all over
yeah.
America. Like I
Yeah.
Chicago has a different accent than like Milwaukee and they're like an hour and a half apart.
Yeah.
So it's weird to be like, oh yeah, I guess Italy they have different accents, wouldn't they? Yeah, it's big as hell. Of course they have different
Well, but
accents.
for them, I don't necessarily mean like from the regions that they're from. It's, for example,
Mhm.
like if people hear me talk, they can hear an accent, so they know that. And I
Oh,
think it's thinking
sure.
like in English, but I think it's like hearing like in Italian because it's not my language. I'm just like, can you
Hmm.
tell? But logically, it's still the same thing. It should still be
Yeah.
the same
Could
case.
you tell if your first language is something else and then you learn
Yeah.
Italian as a yeah,
Yeah, like, can
okay.
you tell, like,
Yeah,
where that
yeah.
accent is from? Not necessarily the Italian region, but where they're from,
Mhm.
country of origin or something. I don't know, but if
Yeah.
they can do it in English, why not? This is just, you know, I'm the dumb one. So,
Thoughts we just don't have.
yeah. Okay. Um, so Giovanni just comes in here. The women don't believe him. One person believes him. That's Georgia, and all the women just think that Georgia is basically an idiot for giving
Hmm.
him the time of the day. Um, Giovanni is a red flag to me because besides saying all the things and exaggerating, he says with his own mouth that a calm person is boring and sometimes he needs to argue with his partner. Okay. And
Yeah,
this is
what
what
is
he made his
12?
choice. This is what he made his choice um
Yeah.
based on that. As a sidebar, this is one friend. I saw her on multiple occasions, like 3 times. Someone was venting to her. Someone from she never made it to the other side, but people were just venting to her. Not once did she say anything. She's just listening and giving blank stares. Like her eyes look dead and she's just
Hmm.
listening and she doesn't give an answer whenever they talk to her. But honestly, I wouldn't say that a lot happened, but not a lot happened. Like I'd rather go
Right.
straight into the couples. I think the last love triangle that we had was Nicola, who was a former soccer player, Ludovica, and Davide. And
Hmm.
Ludovica just, I don't understand where she's coming from. She said she was so sure who she was going to pick. Then she said she was confused. And then she was scared. And then she tells Nicola, like, I didn't want to be with you because I'm scared that you're not going to like me after. Dude, you haven't even left the pods. What is with the hypotheticals? Like, what is
Yeah,
happening? And
this was a lot.
but I can tell like she kind of struggles with insecurity because the other party
Hmm.
too was Karen, and she was like, "Oh, look at me going against Karen, Miss World." And,
Right.
Nicola did not take it well. Like, again, another red flag. Why are you like knocking over everything in the room, slamming the
Yeah.
door, kicking whatever it is? But I get it that it was frustrating because he kept saying, what is the problem? And she kept saying, I don't know. Maybe you won't like me. Maybe I'm scared, but I do like you. But I think I need to go with him. That is very
Hmm.
frustrating, but not to the point where we need to start knocking things over.
No, no. Her explanation to me, it felt like she's got some physical insecurities. She was essentially saying he is a former professional soccer player. He's probably used to women that are like super unreasonably good looking. So then if he's with me, he might not like me after all, and I'm gonna bail. And it was a weird sort of way that she got there because nothing he said sort of led to that. It
Yeah.
was almost as though she had sort of made this narrative in her head and could not be shaken from it, which is frustrating. However, to physically assault a Christmas tree to the point that he cut his hand. Like he was back at the lounge and dude was like, "Hey man, are you okay?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I cut my hand. I threw everything." Like, okay, that's a problem
Yes.
because she didn't say anything negative about you. She wasn't saying like you're not the man for me, blah blah blah, whatever. She was basically just like, "Look, my insecurities are holding me back, and that's a problem, and I can't get past that." And so for you then to go berserk over that
Hmm.
is not a great sign for what the rest of the show is going to be like for him.
Yeah, she was basically, it's not me, it's not you, it's me for the entire
Yeah.
thing. I think where she threw me off was when she said we're of different worlds. And he was like, "What does that
Hmm.
mean?" I was like, quite frankly, honestly, what does that mean? And she still couldn't
Yeah.
answer it.
Nope.
So,
We're just different, is all. We're just different. Trust me, we're different. You're not going to like it. Trust me. It's
mm.
weird.
And then I think she's pretty. So I don't, I mean, you
Yeah.
can't control someone's insecurity, but she's pretty. She has a nice body.
Hmm.
She could be a wag if that's what. I didn't get anything that you said. I mean, it makes sense now, but I did not
Yeah.
get that at all.
I don't know where it comes from, but
Yeah.
that seemed to be kind of, because she said a couple of things along the way of like, well, he played soccer or whatever. Like it just
Yeah.
kind of, it felt to me like that's where she was going, but I'm like, you don't stand out as somebody who would like clearly be different than the other
Yeah.
women around or anything like that.
And also, he can't be all that. He's in the pods with you on Love is Blind.
Right.
If he could,
He
he would have gotten whatever it is he was looking for, but he's here. Okay.
also, he hasn't played soccer in 4 years. He's just some guy now. Like he's not like he's playing for AC Milan. He's just some guy who used to play soccer.
Yeah, and it's like, what kind? Because on Love Island, we get a lot of them. Oh, I'm a soccer player. What team? The team way
Right.
welcome to Wrexham type of team. It's like we don't even know, what team you're playing for. So I don't know. She gave him
Yeah,
too
our
much
field
credit.
has cows on it.
Yeah. So, anyways, was there anything else from the pods that stood out to you before I go to the reveals?
No,
Okay.
because nothing happened.
Nothing happened. There was a lot of talking, a lot of feelings, a lot of everything, but it's like, okay, nothing's happened yet. So, all right, I'll take a quick break and then we'll go into the couple's reveal. The holidays are almost here, and if you still have names on your list, don't panic. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. You'll discover presents that feel meaningful and personal, never rushed or last minute. Uncommon Goods look for products that are high quality, unique, and crafted by independent artists, so every gift feels special and thoughtfully chosen. I saw these super comfy crew neck sweatshirts by Kindle and Jake Chambers, where you can have your pets' cute little faces custom embroidered on them, and I just know my friends with fur babies would absolutely love them, so they're in my cart. I'm gonna get them for Christmas gifts. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/altarcallmafs. That's uncommongoods.com/altarcallmafs for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Okay, so I've been looking forward to the romantic getaways because I'm like, okay, things are gonna start happening right here. But before that, we have to go through the reveals and the couples have to meet each other. So the first couple was Giovanni and Georgia. They walk out, they both have smiles. He kisses her hand, and it's like dead silence. And I'm like,
Yep.
what? And then I realized like that's how it's gonna be for all of them before the music comes on. And I'm like, oh, that's a choice. But I also have to remember that for them, they are meeting in silence. We get music, but they are meeting in silence. And then they hug, and then they sway. Then it leads to a dance, I guess. And then he whispers, "Let's not argue today." Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I don't think you were going to, man.
Ooh. Remember that was the criteria that he used to choose her. He likes to argue with
Yeah, I
his
want to
partner.
fight.
He kept telling her though that she is beautiful, and she says like, she likes what she sees and she sees him as a man. And he proposes, but as he proposes, she can't stop laughing. She just keeps laughing and laughing, and it's a little awkward. But then they eventually kiss, but nothing nothing stands out.
No.
It's just, what it was.
Yep.
The next couple is Alessandro and Elisa. Alessandro is 26 and Elisa is 30. She was worried about his age, like thinking that he's childish and he's not mature yet, but he says like he's mature. The jury's still out on that. He's very hyper. is the word.
Yeah.
I would
He's
use.
youthful.
The energy and the exuberance still exists.
Yeah.
So they open, he runs to her, they hug, and they kiss immediately. And I don't want to stereotype the country, but from what I saw from these reveals, these people kiss like they're hungry. They 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 devour the woman.
It's
is
true. It's
is
aggressive.
what I can say. And I'm like, oh gosh, that's a lot. But he tells her she's beautiful. He proposes. They're basically like teenagers because they can't keep their hands off of each other, which is good. She seems okay. I'm like, does she like him? I can't tell. And she's like, oh, I'm so calm. And then, when they're about to separate, he carries her, like over the threshold, but over to the other door, I guess, when they meet. Then we have Parmi and Gargana. Gargana is 30, and right after Giovanni tells her no, she bounces right back and goes to Parmi after she told him, my parents will not like you. And suddenly,
Yeah.
the thing is, he was so confident that it was only her. And I'm like, sir, there's somebody else, but hey, it worked. They smile, they laugh. She likes what she sees. She says, what a hunk, what a real hunk. He tells her that she's beautiful and tells her like it's always been you, and then proposes. And I mean, I like their meet.
Yeah, it was fine. It was I think the whole thing is like unless it's bad, it's not going to stand out this season because no one is like winning me over.
Yeah.
So like as long as it's not like a bad meeting, I'm like, yeah, this is fine. This is great.
Yeah.
You guys do just fine.
Then we meet Hayoni, who's 34, and the other Alessandro, who's 34 as well. They were like a late entry. They came from nowhere. And Hayoni is gorgeous and stunning. And when they first met, I think when she said her name, he's like, oh, where are you from? He could tell. And she said it, and he's like, I'm obsessed with everything from there. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't love that.
Okay, let's hope.
A little bit of fetishism.
Yes, that's right, Brian. That's exactly what I was thinking. And I'm like, okay. But they're my favorite couple for now. Guys, I'm just going to tell you now, they did not make it to the getaway. I am not happy about that. I hate when it's like a group project, when everyone's not participating. Kind of like when Rhonda and Pat were not at the couples retreat. I don't like that. And then you don't even tell us why.
No, they didn't make it. They'll be around later on though.
But I will say this Alessandro, I think the other one is Alessandro A, and Alessandro gets to just have no initial. Alessandro is what I expected. He looks like what I think a typical Italian looks like. And
that's fair,
yeah. And they hug, they kiss. It is passionate. She thinks he's a good kisser. She finds him attractive. He says she's stunning. And he as well carries her to the other door. And as he carries her, she asks him, how tall are you? He's very tall. And he's like, tall enough. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Get it. Then we have Davide, who's 37, and Ludovica, who is 31. Ludovica is who was not sure that she'll be good enough for the quote unquote former footballer Nicola. By the time he proposed, I was annoyed by them both. I did not care. I don't know what you guys are gonna do because Davide was so sure it was gonna be him. Davide thinks like, oh, he's so good looking, and I'm like, there's a whole bunch of turmoil going on behind the scenes. So I don't know what you're so confident about. But when he did propose and he said yes, and he went back to the boys' villa. Oh, well, it's not villa. Quarters, lounge. The lounge that they're in, celebrating around Nicola. That was nasty work.
That was foul. Right in his face. It was messed up.
But when they meet, he tells her that she's beautiful. They kiss immediately. And then she's like, again, I feel so self-conscious, is what she says. But then he says he got her a present. And I'm like, oh, what did he get her? Took her all the way to the other door to give her a candy ring. Now, they did talk about this in the pods, and she was like, even if you give me a candy ring, I will accept it, but okay.
Garbage.
Once again, this is another man who kisses her like she's a Happy Meal, because I don't know what's happening, but it's almost like the girls are like, escape. I just want to get out. Um,
Pepe Le Pew.
I couldn't tell how she felt, but then she had a confessional and she says, "Yeah, I just have to gather all my thoughts and fears." I'm like, "Oh no."
There was a little bit of that going on with some people. There was that. There was, I think somebody else was like, yeah, it's just kind of hard to put like the voice with this name and this face
Yeah.
and this body. I'm like, oh God, all right.
So she says like, but she does say like, yeah, he's not my ideal type, but he
Mhm.
awakens what counts though. So
Yeah.
the final couple was Nicola and Karen because Ludovica decides to choose Davide, and after Nicola just flips everything over in the room, he suddenly decides, you know what, I want Karen. I don't think I mentioned earlier. Karen has a 14-year-old son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
14, 15, yeah, you got a grown kid.
yeah. And he says, now I want to focus on someone who really wants me. But do you want them? Yes, they want you.
Right.
And then he proposes, and I'm like, is this a joke? And even worse, she says yes. Ah.
Hmm.
So,
She says yes. She is making like the knowest of no faces for the longest time. She's got a full like frown on. She's shaking her head no. I'm
yeah.
just like, oh God.
Yeah. They look good together, though.
They do.
They look
They
good
do.
together. They kiss each other. She thinks that he is handsome, and those are the reveals for all the couples. And we find out that their romantic holiday is in Morocco. And
Hmm.
like I said earlier, to me, this started on a bad note because of the voiceover that Hayoni and Alessandro had to return to Italy. I was going to check where they filmed, but my guess is probably the UK, because I'm thinking it's in
Yeah.
Europe and they already have the pods there and they just do that. So they
Hmm.
yeah, go over to Morocco and that's where their getaway is going to be. So I'll take a break and go through each couple's time in Morocco and when all the couples meet each other, which is usually my favorite part. Okay, so we start with Giovanni and Georgia. Um, he's been making jokes all along, and it's so hard for me to see him as a serious person. He feels like a
Hmm.
character, he dresses like a character, he talks like a character, and she describes him as eclectic. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever
Yeah.
you want to feel better for your man, sure. Eclectic is not the word I'll
Weird. Let's
use.
call them weird.
But again, I don't know if it's a translation or what's going on, but she makes a weird joke when they're sitting out on the porch or something on the balcony and she's like, "Oh, you're light skinned, you're noble." And I'm like, "Do
Hmm.
I even want to know what this means?"
It
Or
means what you think it
oi.
means.
My goodness. Okay. So then the music changes and then he sits her down and then he gets all serious and he's like, "You know, I'm Catholic." Okay. And in Catholicism, sexuality is tied to conception. I'm like, "Oh?"
Hmm.
And God bless Georgia. She says, "Not for you, right?"
Right? You don't believe this, do you?
And he says, "No, I don't. Times have changed." And she's like, "Oh, thank God." But it's the age old question of Love is Blind. What the fuck did y'all talk about in the pods?
I have no right. I don't know how this never came up, especially knowing what I know about France, which mostly comes from watching Manon on 90 Day Fiance
Ugh,
before the 90
ma
days.
sœur.
I know, right? But my gathering is France is super Catholic,
Yeah.
so like this probably could have come up in the pods at some point in time. I mean, it's weird that it didn't, but apparently it didn't, and I'm not sure why it's coming up now. Because you're like, yeah, for Catholicism, really only have sex for a baby, but like not for me. Okay, then why bring it up?
That's
Like,
it.
why are we even talking about
That's the
this?
part that was so weird because it's like, what are you trying to say? Are you saying you're not having sex till marriage? You're not having sex till you're sure? Because if not, why did we even include this in there? But the more confusing thing is he says like he no longer defines himself as Catholic. So what?
Right.
Again, so Catholicism tied
Why are
to
you bringing
why?
it up?
What are we? Where are we going with that? And then later in the night, as they're discussing, and we had the confessional. he just casually says like, "Yeah, I don't feel the chemistry. Like I don't
Yep.
they didn't like dwell
Wow.
on it. He just said it and it was like, did he really say that? But again, if it didn't matter and he's not defining himself as Catholic anymore, even worse, he sleeps on the sofa. What is
Yeah.
going on with
And we
this
didn't
guy?
get any explanation. We don't know. She was like, we had some serious talks last night and we have some areas of disagreement and we agreed it's better if he sleeps on the couch and now he's in the shower. And I'm like, well, now wait a minute. What were the areas of disagreement that were so severe that the answer is you sleep on the couch? Like we didn't get I have no idea what they talked about. She didn't tell us.
It's so confusing and sometimes and things like this we usually have like speculations. What do we think it is? I
Mm-hmm.
don't even have an idea because my first guess is like this man does not want to have sex with her because he's not attracted to her, but he's also trying to use or go the religious route. But then you're confusing
Mm-hmm.
everybody by saying like I'm not Catholic anymore, but then Catholic is for conception. If you're going to stick with the lie, just stick with it all the way through. So
Right.
now
Pick one.
this is
Pick one and stay with it.
disjointed, but nothing is ever that serious where you can't sleep on the same bed on
No.
night one.
If you need to put a wall of pillows between you or whatever, you can do that. But to be like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch, it, the only reason you do that in my mind is y'all had a big fight. And it doesn't seem like they had a big fight. So
Mm-mm.
I have no idea what happened here.
I mean, Georgia's handling this better than us because she's just like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel rejected. I was like,
Yeah.
Brittany will beg to differ with you on that.
Yeah.
But he was like, I don't feel rejected. It's nice if we take our time. So we have to see if this is gonna last the entirety of the experiment or at some point is he just gonna be honest. But even if you're not attracted to
Mm-hmm.
someone, you can share a bed with someone. Come on, not on night one.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
You're allowed to, it's you can share a bed and not have sex.
yeah. Maybe he's scared of conception. So
Who knows? They didn't tell us.
okay, and then we have Nicola and Karen. Nicola is saying that his other connection, Ludovica, left things pending, like this is work, and didn't clear things up. And I'm like, isn't accepting the proposal of another man clear enough for you?
Right?
What
She's here with somebody else. That's pretty clear.
what is pending? Can I ask Brian, do you understand or
Mm-hmm.
do you remember what it is they were talking about the Christmas tree? Who did she give the Christmas tree to? Ludovica.
She I, she gave it to Nicola, which is what he destroyed when he got mad. So like, but I don't. It seemed like the Christmas tree had such a higher degree of emotional meaning to them than it had to me. Because I was like, y'all are using this Christmas tree as like a totem for something. And I'm like, it's just a Christmas tree. Y'all like Christmas, is what I thought it was about. But to them, this was some kind of a meaningful symbol of something. I don't know what was going on with the Christmas tree.
So I wonder if it's one of those things that we missed again, but I know Christmas means a lot to Nicola. And because it was, she gave him that gift, like, I hear you, I see you, here's the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And then Davide took it as if you're giving him a gift, that's who. I mean, which makes sense. If you give, that was the whole thing in the American version where
Yeah, because
he gave a
she got
gift.
a gift from Japan or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was
So of course you give a gift to the person. The assumption is like that's who your heart is with. So I'm not understanding Ludovica. Like I said, by the time she and Davide got proposed to, my head was spinning, and I'm like, whatever makes you happy, girl. I'm with you.
right.
But
Go for it.
Nicola is still like on that hill that Ludovica wants him. Things are not cleared. He did not have closure. For me, I thought she was very clear because she sat there and she explained to him. And after a while, she's like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. And that was it. Yes, it was confusing that she liked one person one day and then didn't like him the next day. But welcome to Love is Blind.
That's life.
So they're sitting there in their balcony and I'm thinking, okay, you're on your pseudo honeymoon. Why are you asking this woman, like, have you ever experienced failure in your life? I'm like,
Bizarre questioning.
and she starts listing all. I think she got pregnant when she was 15. She had to be by herself. Then she was with her ex, her most recent ex, for 11 years. She had to build back up. Before that, she was with another ex. And I'm like, That's an important thing to share with us in the
Yeah,
pods.
11 years is so long.
Yeah, and they live together. And why did you break up? And how did you lead to here? But we
Right.
don't get that over here.
Nope.
So they don't have sex on the first night. And it's going to be tough for these two because remember that Karen is still feeling insecure because she's so sure that Nicola wants Ludovica. And
Hmm.
he's just talking about holidays. And he says that, no one comes home for the holidays anymore. They're all grown. I'm like, that's not how it works, but okay.
That's
Maybe,
when you come back.
yeah, maybe that's what happens. And again, I don't know if it's editing. That's all he says is like, oh, I like the holidays when it was at home. And Karen is like, oh, you mean when you bring a girl like Ludovica? I'm like, huh? What?
Right. Right. Wow.
What a reach.
He's like, no, I'm not talking about Ludovic. He's like, yes, you are. Yeah, you are. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right.
She didn't even drop it. She's like, so you have feelings for her? He's like,
Right.
what? So
Bananas.
that's gonna be a problem. So and then instead of him to just be like, no, I'm with you now and all that, he's like, no, she was good. She was good at getting me to
Hmm.
open up. I'm like, no, Nicola, no.
Not what she wants to hear, man.
She's like, well, I mean, if she was good at getting you to open up, why didn't you go with her? And he was like, because I always saw myself next to you. No, Nicola, it's because she went with
No.
Davide. Remember, you knocked the
Yeah.
Christmas tree over.
Yeah, because you got dumped. Like,
So yeah, he says like he doesn't think seeing Ludovica will jeopardize things, but it will be like opening a wound. It's like someone nodding, but they're shaking their head. Like, are you
mhm.
okay? Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So yeah, the man is not over Ludovica. The man proposed to Karen so he could see Ludovica again.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
speaking of Ludovica, she and Davide, she was saying that, she tells us that she wasn't happy when she met him because he looked older. She was like, how do I say this? He just looks older than his age, like he was in his 50s or something. But then she said, but now it's better. What happened? He didn't have a facelift. What happened in one
No,
night?
no, I can't explain that at all.
um, they have a moment about this tree that keeps on giving, and she says that he's insecure. At first, I thought she was being harsh, but later on, she's not harsh. He himself says that. She's like, "I'm a jealous guy,"
Yeah.
and Davide says, we slept together for the first time and it was nice. He felt like we've been married for so long. And I'm like, oh, that's surprising because she said you're not her type. But then her confessional
Hmm.
comes and she goes, oh, we didn't have sex. And that's when I realized he actually meant like sleeping on the same bed. So
Yeah, we literally slept together.
thank God we got that because I was taking track of like who had sex the first night or who hadn't. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh man, this is gonna be a long season because if we didn't have that, I would have gone along like, oh, she wasn't attracted, but she went ahead and had sex to him. Great.
Yep.
Then we have Alessandro A, who's 26 and Eliza 30. And I know this doesn't make sense at all, Brian, but it took me till this getaway to realize we had two Alessandros. I was trying to keep up with everybody.
I hear you. No, it's tricky. It's tricky this season. A lot of them look alike. A lot of them have similar names. It's tricky.
So it took me a minute, but now I know. Now I know. Like I said earlier, they can't stop touching each other. And she says they need to learn a lot because she can be fussy about a lot of things. And I had written down at that point, like, I think this is a warning that we need to take seriously. She has told us who she is, and I
Hmm.
don't think she's lying or she's joking. And we don't have to wait long because they're eating, and she's like, I hate the way he eats. And she tells him that. Like, I told you
Yep.
about manners. Like, who raised you?
Pretty much, yeah. Like you use your hands. Are you an animal?
and
Jesus.
And this is where youth comes into play sometimes because he's unfazed. He's like, I told you I eat with my hands. He was like, you don't?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Look, man, don't judge me.
so the question of kids come up and talk about his age again. And he kind of was like, don't you think it makes sense that we should get to know each other first, like at least a year regardless of my age? And she's like, no, I don't think you're serious about having a kid. He's like, I'm not serious. I just feel like it makes sense for us to get to know each other first. So, I mean, they
Yeah.
start kissing again and she's smiling, but then she tells us in the confessional that, yeah, I'm not convinced he's going to make a good father, but I feel lighthearted and I'm free to be myself. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
How are we supposed to be invested in these people if they're treating it so casually? Like, in one line, you're saying, I don't think he's gonna make a good father, but I really want kids, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Whatever. I'll stick it out. I'll do it. Whatever.
So, anyways, they didn't have sex, but they were making out, and she goes, "Tonight there's gonna be no talking. We have talked enough." So,
Mm-hmm. It's time.
then we have Parmi and Gargana. Parmi says like he's attracted to her, but he's finding it hard to match the voice to the face. And I feel like we hear this a lot, so I'm kind of used to it. We hear a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
come out and be like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Well, just put a wall between you guys and walk, and then it'll feel
Close
like
your eyes.
home. You be good." So
Right.
they had sex, and she's like, "Oh, we had wonderful sex." And then they have this, what to me was odd. They're sitting on their balcony, and she's like, "Wow, you touched my feet." I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "No one has been able to do that, not even my exes." And she's like, "Usually when they touch my feet, like I scream, but you touched my feet and I didn't even scream. No one has been able to do that." My brain had to adjust because this came after she just said they had wonderful sex. And I'm like, are we
Mm-hmm.
like, is this the position we're talking about? Till I realized it was just her putting her feet on him and him
He was
holding
holding her
her
feet
feet.
like it was
And
hands.
I'm like,
Yeah.
are we in a world where we're marveling that, you know what? Maybe it's a big thing for her. I'm happy for her.
We're low on content. Gotta pad this episode out a little bit.
Brian is like, we should have just done Brazil.
Right. I mean, old folks, who knows? Some salsa dancing, some samba.
Okay, so that's how it was for when they got to the holidays. And then they have the big party where all the couples are going to meet up. Everyone is nervous in some way because some the love triangles actually made it on there, which in itself again is not the best thing. You don't want to feel like you're second best. A lot of these people coming in are
Yep.
feeling like they're second best, and it's like, well, who told you to
Mm-hmm.
say yes? You said yes of your own volition, so deal with the consequences of what you decided to do.
You had options.
So Gargana does not think that Georgia is a good match for Giovanni, and she's like, I might talk to him, but I might just shake his hand. Davide is telling Ludovica not to drink so much. Again, we don't have background, but I will say a lot of the times Ludovica be giving me Annie eyes from Love is Blind. Like she just looks like, are you here with us? Like, what's up? How many shots did you have?
Yeah, dude was like, "Hey, man, take it easy. You know how you get when you drink." And I'm like, "How do you know how she gets when she drinks? Like, you barely know her."
Yeah. So again, I don't know. I think it's a combination of everything. I don't think the editing is the best. So they're not doing a good job of making us connect with them. So
Yeah.
she's saying that she needs to talk to Nicola. To me, I'm just like I said, Giovanni's ridiculous. Like a full suit on a holiday is too much. But listen, I might bite
Yeah.
my word. I bit my words later because apparently they took these people to Morocco and it's freezing. They were freezing their asses off.
Yeah. When the sun was up, it looked all right. Later on, we see them. I'm trying to think of what couple it was. I'm not sure which one it was. They were like shivering.
Yeah.
Like fully. Oh, it was Parmi and Gargana in like full hoodies and
Yeah.
like sweatpants and blankets and stuff outside.
Because when they were first coming in, I'm like, everyone seems dressed differently. And that's when Giovanni came in a full suit. I'm like, you're on vacation, relax,
Mm-hmm.
wear some shorts. And then I think like Elisa had like the strapless dress and all that. Then someone else came all Gargana is like in a turtleneck dress. I'm like, wait, what is happening right
Yep.
now? And then eventually it got so cold, everyone was in jackets and coats. So I'm like, oh, they could have picked somewhere else. But
Certainly could.
Georgia tells him that he slept on the sofa, and I don't know. Elisa just calls Alessandro, who she calls Ale, now, and is like,
Mm-hmm.
"Can you hear this? This is how to be a gentleman." I mean, it was a joke, I guess, but I didn't. It wasn't
Yeah, it didn't
funny.
land that well.
Yeah. So Parminda comes in and with Gargana, and all the ladies are like, "Oh man, look at this guy," and
Hmm.
Giovanni is like definitely nervous, and Parminder is eating it up. He's like, we
Oh yeah,
made an entrance, like we walked in, and he's like, I just want to sever every little minute of it. I'm like, okay, do you,
it's
dude?
too much.
Giovanni in a confessional is like, I like Gargana. Like, I would have dated her for sure. I'm like, oh my
Phew.
gosh.
Yep.
Giovanni is telling Nicola, like, imagine what if Ludovica is a sex bomb? And Nicola is saying, oh my God, I would throw myself off this ledge. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's with Karen. She's also hot.
Hmm.
So what?
It's bad because she's gonna see this. Like, what is your plan?
No.
There's gonna be a reunion at some point. They're gonna play this clip. What are you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. Nicola is so visibly uncomfortable when Ludovica comes in. He's standing in the background and she's saying hi to everyone. But she comes by, she gives him a big hug. Some of the guys I think are talking about sex. And but it's just like it's not the way like it is in the US where everyone just talks about it all night long. They
Hmm.
just one line and then move on with it. And Ludovica says that she's happy, and Giovanni is basically what Jovi is on 90 Day, the housewife on here, just fishing for all of the
Yeah.
things, and is like, Davide, what's going to happen? How is it? How are things going? So Ludovica pulls Nicola for a talk. And I'm surprised that we have not had a confessional from either of them just to say what they think of each other physically. Because usually when there's a
Yeah.
triangle, they put them there and they say, oh, they're cute. We got Giovanni saying Gargana is cute, but
Hmm.
we got nothing for these two. Nicola is staring at her intensely. Like,
Yep.
you know how I said like they kiss like it's a happy meal? That's the way he was staring at her. Like, and she's like, why are you looking at me like this? And he's like, are you
Yep.
happy? She's like, yes. He's like, I don't believe you. And she's also smiling flirtily at him.
A little bit. She's not straight up like, hey man, just cut this shit out.
She's not flirting.
Right.
And
She's receptive to it.
this is the thing with these people. When they get engaged, I think they forget that they're engaged. They have these conversations with
Hmm.
the people they have triangles with in the pod, and it's just disrespectful. They're never
Yeah.
just like, hey, man, I'm engaged now. I'm sorry for what happened and move on. They have these lingering looks, these coy statements, and they're all in a corner. And it's just, what are you doing? To what end are we doing this? But he brings up the
Yeah.
Christmas tree, and she's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I keep telling you that I was led by my insecurities. And I'm like, you gave him a tree because you were insecure, or I don't.
I don't know. I feel like her explanation truly just needs to be, I don't think you would have thought that I was
Yeah.
hot. Because then we can just move on with this. But all these other things, I'm just like, none of this makes any sense. That's not why you did what you did. That's not what this
But
is.
even if she said that, Nicola's the kind of person to say, so does that mean like you actually liked me, but then you just thought that I wouldn't like you back, so then you left, but deep down
Right.
you said, because actually no, that is what he's been saying. And he's like, I'm not
Yeah.
stupid. Like, you're not being honest with yourself. He's not saying the words outright, like you like me, but he's just like,
Hmm.
you are not being honest with yourself. And he's still looking at her like he wants to eat her up. And I they should have just ended that, but I they keep going on
Yeah.
there. So Karen is still concerned because she's watching them talk, and Gargana is telling her, relax, it's just been a day. You're gonna get through that. And I'm like, oh, finally, we get good advice giving to
Hmm.
someone. Nicola tells Ludovica, like, you need to think things through. And she's like, thank you. I can think for myself. I'm happy. Bye.
Hmm.
And she says in the confessional, like, yeah, if I wasn't sure before, I'm sure now. I'm happy with my choice. But I reckon
Yep.
that Nicola, on the other hand, I think he's left the door open. I'm like, she's not wrong.
No, 100% right.
Karen says, like, listen, I'm the victim in this situation, and he's not coming over to ask me how I'm doing, what's going on. And Nicola goes to Giovanni, asks Nicola what she said, and she's like, "It's all bullshit." Like he's not saying anything. But Davide is happy. He says he feels validated. That Ludovica surprised him. What was he
Mhm.
expecting her to do?
I think he honestly thought she was gonna like shoot her shot or something. It's weird, but I think that's what he was basically saying, was like, oh, she's gonna see him, and all of a sudden it's gonna be Davide who,
That sounds like a song. Davide.
right?
And this shows that, Ludovica is seriously interested in him. And Eliza is just over there bossing Alessandro. All the like, sit, come here. And everyone says that.
Hmm.
Gargana and Giovanni go for a chat. And Parmi's like, I'm fine because I trust her. Like, I don't care, whatever you want to do. He tries to make
Yep.
the point that she also chose somebody else even after he said he didn't want. So basically, she should understand that that's how he felt, that he had to pick between two people. Giovanni is not wrong about that. I think it was just the way he went about it. He was also very, again, this is what we
Yep.
saw in Maps. He went very cold and just said really hurtful things just because he wanted to end it. And he was like, we're at the
Hmm.
same point because I had to pick. And he was like, "Do you think it was easy for me?" And Gargano calmly is like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah, I do.
So he keeps
Ugh.
going on in the confessional. Gargano is like, the thing is, he never asks how the other person is feeling. He just launches straight into why he does things. And Parmi always asks me why I'm feeling what I feel before saying his feeling. And then Ali's telling Georgia, like, oh, you don't have to worry. Giovanni was always crazy about you. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? Why are you telling her
Right.
that? Like, it's not gonna help. Um,
Nope.
Gargana tells him, Giovanni, like, listen, I am happy that you're happy with your choice because I am happy with my choice as well. And he's like, oh, I liked you both equally. And Gargana calmly again says, I have nothing else to say. I said everything in the pods. Bye.
Yep.
She
Yep.
leaves. Ludovica tells
Ugh.
Karen that Ludovica, she's not snitching. She should tell Karen, and she's like, "Listen, Nicola does not believe me. I think he thinks that I still like him." And Karen is like, "I don't
Hmm.
like this." So she's still mad that he didn't check on her, and then now he finds out that he might still have feelings for Ludovica. She gets upset. She walks away. Nicola's the kind of guy that's not going to chase after you. So he did not leave. As she says, he's not the right person for me right now. I'm like, is he going to be tomorrow? I don't know. It's not going to change
Who
anything.
knows?
So that was basically the first drop. We see the preview. Some people did not tell their parents they were coming on this show. We see Parmi's parents say, oh, as he smiles, oh, for a TV show, this is okay. But for a real marriage, no, 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 no. What are you doing?
Yup.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't seen anything. None of these people are staying married. None of these people are getting married.
No, I hope not. They shouldn't. None of these are great matches. And again, it might be the editing. It might just be what they showed us. I don't have one couple on here where I'm like, oh, y'all are perfect together. Y'all make so much sense. This is a great couple to cheer for. We don't have one of those. So like, I mean, maybe Hioni and
Alessandro.
Alessandro when they come back, maybe, I
They're the
don't know.
best right now because we've seen nothing of them. So
Exactly. We saw very little of them, and that's why they're in first
but I
place.
think for the preview, we see some issues also with the parents. And this was my problem with
Yeah.
Love is Blind Habibi. A lot of them cared what the parents thought. And if that is your
Yes.
situation, same thing with Anna in there. Don't come on this show, guys. Like, I think
Don't do it.
respect your parents. And if it means a lot, there's some people who are willing to defy their parents. If
Hmm.
you're that person or you're not that person, don't do it. It's not fair to the other person. And you're just fighting before you even get started. So,
Yeah. No, if you're not going to be full submit from 90 Day Fiance and like defy your parents, then don't do it. Don't come on the show then. It's not worth it.
yep. So we'll see what the next thing brings. I mean, maybe as they get into the weeds, like I just think part of the problem is besides whatever content they're providing, the producers are not really doing a good job of, fleshing the story out and making us,
Hmm.
connect with them. But the hope still stands. And maybe that's why it's just fewer drops, you know. You know.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe drop 2 will be great. I mean, it seems like there's going to be a whole lot of fights.
Yeah.
So like maybe I'll pick it up now.
Yeah. So all right. Thanks as always for joining me, Brian. Can you share with people what you
Hmm.
got next, especially since Maps is over now?
Yeah, so over on Maps Virgin, we are going to cover the Houston season next. We were supposed to record it today. There was kind of like a jumble with how episode one appears on some streaming services and not on others. Like we do that thing where it's like we're going to combine the matchmaking special with episode one for Xfinity, but on Hulu it's split up. It's a whole mess. So we're recording the first episode tomorrow. I've only seen Houston one time. I know two people whose guts I absolutely hate. So I'm looking forward to watching that all go down again. You can join us over at Maps Virgin and then join our Facebook group, Maps Virgin Fan Club. You can also follow us on Instagram and Threads at Maps Virgin. I do a lot of like memes and jokes and things on there.
Nice. Y'all probably tired of hearing where to find me, but it's the same. Altar Call MAFS on all of the social platforms. I usually live tweet what I'm watching on Threads or Blue Sky, so you can check that out. Please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Really helps the podcast. And stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Until next time, guys. Bye.